So we had some drama, we had some goals, and we had another Canadian victory. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Canada has just defeated Team Switzerland 5-1 at the Milano Cortina 2026 Winter Olympic Games. The men's ice hockey team is on a roll, and we got to talk about the game itself because we saw some line changes, we saw some different goal scorers, we saw one Connor McDavid continuing his reign of terror across the sport of hockey. And it's all coming up next here. So, of course, Team Switzerland, they've got themselves a pretty stacked roster in terms of the European countries over here. They have some pretty good players. Nico Hischier, Kevin Fiala, Timo Meier, Roman Josi. That's a pretty good start. The rest of the lineup is filled with some other dudes. No disrespect, of course, to Pius Suter or Giannis Moser. They're having pretty good seasons, I would say. Leonardo Giannoni had himself a pretty good opening game of the tournament, but it was Akira Schmid who got the call for Switzerland today, going up against his teammates Mitch Marner and Mark Stone on the Vegas Golden Knights. More on Mark Stone a little bit later. But the first period saw Connor McDavid open things wide open right away. 5 minutes in on the power play, it's McKinnon over to McDavid on the far right side, and he just throws it towards the goal. It ends up beating Akira Schmid. He thought maybe he would go backdoor to Sidney Crosby, but no, that's not the case. Look at Mcdavid. Instead of going right in front for Sid, he goes all the way across for Connor, and the shot ends up going right through. It's a 1-0 lead. It's early. Connor McDavid has his first of the tournament to go along with his pretty good 3 assists in the opening game, quickly making it 2-0. 5 minutes after that, it is Wilson to McDavid to Thomas Harley. New York's own Thomas Harley, by the way. Connor Mack is on the half boards. He ends up throwing it back across. Harley has so much space. Look at that. Look at the lack of coverage from the Swiss defense. They're all over the place. Harley comes in, he shoots, he scores. Pretty good goal. Really great placement for the young Canadian defenseman. And he ends up beating the goaltender, making it 2-0 Canada. Then, take a look at this. We have ourselves Team Switzerland getting on the board here too. Logan Thompson, who, by the way, he played pretty well today, he could not control the Sven Andrighetto shot, and Suter, Pius Suter, follows up on the rebound, burying the loose change. That's the biscuit in the basket right there. You could see just the joy on the Swiss players' faces when the goal went in. Even the crowd, you've got all the Swiss fans there supporting their team. Just getting a goal against Canada is a pretty big feat, since that's literally the first one they've allowed all tournament. And in fact, if you look at this statistic posted by Ben Steiner, Pius Suter's goal for Switzerland is the first NHL Olympic goal Canada has allowed in 237 minutes of hockey. The last was Latvia's Loris Darzins in the 2-1 Canada win in the 2014 quarterfinal. Yeah, that's right. Canada, of course, they had a shutout 3-0 against Team Sweden in 2014, and they also had a shutout in the semifinal. So Latvia, Loris Darzins, that's the last goal that an NHL-filled Canadian Olympic squad for the men's ice hockey team has let in. And Pius Suter ends up getting the first one in 237 straight minutes. So Canada with 3 straight shutouts with NHL players at the tournament. Semifinal 2014, final 2014, and then the first game earlier yesterday against Filip Hronek and the Czechs. But the puck goes off the crossbar. Pius Suter right there. He's at the right place at the right time to bury that rebound. It is a 2-1 Canadian lead. Give it a few minutes, though, in the second period, and you see none other than Macklin Celebrini. It is Mac from Mac. Celebrini from Mackinnon. Just a few minutes into the second there, and it becomes a 3-1 Canadian lead. Puck is behind the goal. McDavid is there, and he tries to center it. Puck finds itself into the corner once more before Nathan MacKinnon quickly just pounces onto it and does a nice little no-look backhand pass to Celebrini, who grips it and rips it, and right in tight is able to beat Akira Schmid. Look at that experience right there. McDavid, Macklin, MacKinnon, what a line. And the replay, it's even more impressive. Just seeing Celebrini being able to take these kinds of shots from that kind of a distance and that kind of a pass, it's quick, it's high, it's up in the air, and it beats Akira Schmid 2-1, or excuse me, 3-1. 2-goal lead is restored for Team Canada over here. Next goal scored by Sidney Crosby, and hey, it becomes a 4-1 game 8 minutes into the third. It's Mitch Marner who has the puck on the top right-hand side of the screen there, and instead of shooting it, he throws a perfect pass onto the stick of Sidney Crosby, who is right in front. He directs it behind the goaltender. It's a really beautiful play. I mean, we've seen Marner and Stone have that chemistry, these Vegas dudes going out there, and now Sid is getting his piece of the pie as well. 5-1, you have yourselves Macklin Celebrini's forecheck that leads to a turnover, and then McDavid drives the puck to the net with Nathan MacKinnon following up to tuck in the rebound. This was a really nice play here. Look at Connor McDavid. He has so much space. He drives to the front of the goal, dangles right around the Swiss defenseman, and then throws it towards the net. Rebound is right there for Nathan MacKinnon to bury it, and it is a 5-1 Canadian lead. Sorry, Team Switzerland supporters. I mean, I can't say I'm really too surprised at the result. Team Canada is just so stacked after all. But hey, Akira Schmid, he tried. He tried to deflect that one down. It wasn't enough. And this seems to be the way Canada is rolling with their lines now. MacKinnon in rotation with Celebrini and McDavid on the top line. Nick Suzuki now at center between Brandon Hagel and Tom Wilson. Who's in between Marner and Stone? That's Sidney Crosby. So that seems to be the big change that we have seen for Team Canada from this game. MacKinnon with McDavid and Celebrini. Whew, that is just very, very good over there. And then, of course, the biggest, most detrimental part of today's Canada-Switzerland game happens in the third period with a few minutes left as Tom Wilson ends up getting tangled up there with Kevin Fiala of Team Switzerland. They had to take him off on a stretcher. He was definitely in pain. And you can see here on the video replay, Wilson, I mean, I'm not able to show the clip because, of course, the IOC is going to come from my behind, but Wilson just kind of approaches Fiala. It's a normal looking play. He tries to get tangled up with him to disturb the movement of the puck. And really, I think it's the landing that gets both of these guys here. Fiala is in the midst of a shooting motion as Wilson comes into him. Wilson's trying to stop. It's not like he barreled his way towards Fiala's space. And then as the fall comes, you can see that Kevin Fiala is definitely not landing in a proper position there. The stretchers had to come out. He had to get taken off, and Team Canada, they were hanging around, giving the guy some stick taps. So obviously very appropriate response there from the Canadian team. Freak accidents happen sometimes, especially in a high-paced sport like hockey. I mean, just skimming through the frames doesn't really do it justice. Tom Wilson, it's not like he went down and barreled the guy. He just kind of skated into the general vicinity and got caught up with Fiala in the shooting motion. Definitely not a malicious play there. So, of course, for the sake of LA Kings fans, for the sake of Swiss fans, we hope that Kevin Fiala has a speedy and proper recovery. With that said, though, that's the end of the game. Team Canada wins 5-1, and I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about this hockey contest here? I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.